Listen to Chris Coons from the Senate, who thinks, my gosh, this guy's, Joe Biden is Superman.
What concerns do you have, if any, and how is the campaign going to take this issue head on, which is a real issue that people are talking about publicly and privately?
Well, President Biden is taking this issue head on by continuing to lead, by continuing to show at home and abroad that he is a capable and effective president. As I just referenced, we haven't had as seasoned and capable a leader on the world stage in many years.
Seasoned and capable world leader on the stage. What stage? Kindergarten program at the Miss Potts school where Jethro goes? This is insane. I got to admire these Democrats. They, with good straight faces, go to the microphones and say stuff like this. And you know they don't believe it. They can't believe it.
Right.
They cannot believe this. Karine Jean-Pierre, always good for a laugh. She talks about how this president is just working so hard.
How it is hard for us to keep up with this president who is constantly working every day to get things done and making sure that we are delivering for the American people. And I think that's what matters. I get it. I get what you're asking me, but the record matters too, Jake.
The only way that they can't keep up with Joe is because they are all on some type of serious heavy-duty Valium. And they have lost all their sense of energy because, Joe calls the lid on the day at 2 in the afternoon. Some days he doesn't go in at all to work. There is nothing on the calendar. And, all the reporters, they get the daily brief as to what the president's doing. And a lot of days it's like, he ain't doing nothing. Ain't nothing on the calendar. But somehow he's really busy at it. I want to take a look at some Kamala Harris insights into how well their administration is doing on the economy.
I want to thank, of course, our nation's champion, President Biden, for your leadership and commitment to lowering costs for working families in every way.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I don't know if you know this, Kamala, but prices are almost 17% higher since Joe Biden took office. Hey, can you put that shot back up there? Because I know you looked at Joe, and Joe looks like he has no idea who Kamala Harris is, much less what she's saying. But if you look behind her and to her left, far right of the screen, can we widen that up a little bit? Do you see that guy? You remember the Addams Family, the character Lurch? Is that Lurch? Is that who that is? Because I swear it looks like it. He looks like, what am I doing here? Who led me into this room? Why am I here? Who's this lady talking? And what on earth are they saying about the economy and how good it is?
So Anne is asking this afternoon, first of all, greetings from Norway, where she's watching today. Would you say that cancel culture is today's Berlin Wall?
That's a great analogy, Anne, and I think in many ways it is, but it's in a way deeper than that. It's a wall, but it's a wall that's really designed to just make people shut up and not question the government, which I guess in some ways the Berlin Wall was the same thing. But it's oppressive, and what we are seeing are reminiscences of the East German Stasi, where you have the police state coming in and arresting any political opponent and criminalizing all their behavior and their speech. That really ought to be concerning. Now, the White House wants us to be very careful and be mindful that this disease is about to kill us all. But watch Joe Biden in a long line of people and keep an eye on his hands and ask yourself, would you shake hands with this guy? Every third person, he coughs in his hand, and, it's like, man, sanitize that hand. And if somebody needs to wear a mask, maybe it's Joe. He's got a coughing fit. Get him some cough medicine. That was disgusting. Also, we know that the school closures have irreparably harmed millions of students across this country. But the White House will not admit that the reason the test scores are at the lowest level in decades is because we shut down the schools and kept kids at home.
Remember, when the president walked in, more than 50% of schools were shut down because of COVID, because the last administration didn't have a plan, didn't have a comprehensive plan to deal with COVID and what it was doing to our economy and what it was doing to our kids. And because the president put schools reopening and businesses reopening and making sure that people got shots in arms, made that a priority, we were able to open up the schools. Now, is there more work to do? Absolutely.
There's more work to do. What they really mean by that is there's more money to spend, and that money comes right out of your pocket. Don't ever forget that. By the way, an interesting study showed that 19 of the 20 states, 19 of the top 20 states, I know it's hard to read that graphic, but just trust me on this, for getting their kids back into school in person, were led by Republican governors. So it was the Republicans who thought, let's get these kids back in school. And many Democrat-led states were the ones who kept their kids out as long as was possible, notably California, New York, and these big blue states. And the results, well, they were disastrous, absolutely disastrous. I want to play this clip. This is Kamala Harris, and we love doing her word salads because they're just, you just can't ignore them. And she's talking to Al Sharpton. He is nodding along. He may be nodding off to sleep, I'm not sure, but see if you make sense of what she says.
You know, let's not be manipulated, and let us not be deterred. We cannot be tired. We cannot be overwhelmed. But let us also, in this moment, understand the significance and the importance of bringing our country together around, again, foundational principles about who we are as America. And I say that as Vice President of the United States.
Foundational principles, due process, equal justice under the law. Maybe that's what she was talking about, who knows. I've never seen someone strain so hard to sound intelligent who sounds, in fact, absolutely unprepared to lecture third graders on civics. It's stunning. Donald Trump's been in the news quite a bit. He's done a lot of interviews. And in one case, he was asking about how Biden has done as president. Let's watch. Quote of the...
Look at Joe Biden is not only dumb and incompetent, I believe that he has gone mad, a stark raving lunatic with his horrible and country-threatening environmental open borders and DOJ, FBI weaponization policies. He is a mental catastrophe that is leading our country to hell. We'll end up in World War III because of this man, and for no reason whatsoever. Thank you.
Now, I know that's why a lot of people do not like Donald Trump, because of those blunt comments. I'm so sorry to say this, but that's exactly why I do like Donald Trump. Because with him, you know what he's thinking. He's not polishing it up to make it look pretty. He's just telling it like he truly believes it. And I find that refreshing instead of finding it appalling. So if that bothers you or makes you think less of me, nothing I can do about it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I hope you will now. The button is just below this video, and there's a little bell next to it. If you click on those, YouTube will reluctantly start letting you know when we've got a new video uploaded.